Welcome to the Nutrition Mission Podcast.
This is where we're going to share information about nutrition and have insights into your own personal needs, as well as product information, as well as other information. You've got to be part of this nutrition mission.
This is the official Clark's Nutrition and Natural Foods Market podcast. And we've been helping people live better lives since 1972. We're on a nutrition mission. Join us.
Hi, this is Starkie Sowers. Welcome again to another Nutrition Mission episode here at Clark's Nutrition and Natural Foods Market. Today, I've got Ellen Kamhi from Nature's Answer. She is absolutely amazing. You're going to find about some inside thoughts about the Nature's Answers company, the herbs and all the different lines. And we're also going to explore and talk about the periodontal line. You definitely want to listen. All right, so Ellen, welcome back for another episode here at Clark's Nutrition's Nutrition Mission. Cool moment. By the way, you're our first guest, so I'm so excited to have you on.
Wow, it's an honor. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic series.
Yeah, I'm hoping to just expand upon it and also have you come back for some more time. So I really appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us and spending time with us. And so I want to dig into some stuff. All right, I want to dig into the Perio Bright products. So it's a whole periodontal line that you guys have.
Right.
And I feel like you guys do some stuff that's super unique and super different than anybody else.
Well, that's because this was the Perio Bright line by Nature's Answer was designed by a dentist, Dr. James Harrison. And
Okay.
I worked with Dr. James Harrison, and the owner of the company, Frank D'Amelio, who's a master herbalist. He also worked on this project. So we really dove very deeply into having the most exclusive herbal formulas that are also alcohol-free, fluoride-free.
Big note, fluoride-free.
Yes.
I noticed that.
That's
so
right.
Many natural companies now have fluoride in their products.
Yes, but Dr. Harrison was very against the use of fluoride.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, that's a long discussion and political. Some people are very for fluoride, but if you look at the studies like Dr. Harrison did, he felt that fluoride-free and using herbs instead that have those antibacterial properties as part of the whole line is much better than having fluoride. And he also felt alcohol was not a good thing to include in oral health products. So those are alcohol-free, fluoride-free, and also, like, you held up some really great products. You know, one I really love, that little one called Perio Bright, it's called Perio Rub, and that is amazing. I would never leave the home without it. You know, like, don't leave the home without it.
Right.
Because
So
it's a
tell me
tiny
about it.
little tube. And so you can have it in your pocket or your pocketbook or whatever. And it actually has so many activities that we cannot claim. For instance, I can say here, because we're doing education, it is antiviral. And people use that at the first sign of a cold sore.
Oh, wow. You're kidding me.
No, or any other kind of skin irritation, as well as being a magnificent breath freshener that you can just use if you're out. Like, I dance, I'm a dancer. So I'll take it to the dance, just put a little on my finger because you don't have time to run to the bathroom with my mouthwash, just as a breath freshener. But also it can be used as a little portable toothpaste. So that, right,
Okay.
that little gel, see?
Like a little gel.
Exactly. You can just eat it. Tastes great, right?
It's amazing.
I know it is amazing, but this antiviral property we can't claim on the label because, you know, the FDA is so strict. But I'm sharing that if you read those herbs, this phytoplanolone, which helps to build healthy gum tissue, it's in the full line, and a lot of herbs that are specifically, you know, good for getting rid of bacteria and things that cause gum issues, as well as tasting great. I mean, what a wonderful product. And
That's
the price
crazy.
point on that, I'm sure, is just very low in Clark's.
No, perfect. But I want to talk about one thing for sure. All your products, whether it be the toothpaste, whether it be the Perio Bright Cleanse, whether it's the dry mouth, or whether it's the mouthwash, all of them have coenzyme Q10 and folic acid in them.
Yes,
Can
and
you
there's a
expand
reason.
a little bit on that?
Definitely. As I said, when we designed this, along with James and along with Frank, who is the owner of the company, and myself, we sat literally for years working on these formulas and then testing them in the lab. Those two in particular that you brought up, the folic acid and the coenzyme Q10, those are deficient. A lot of people who have gum disease are actually low in
Right.
those two components, and they're necessary for the body to grow healthy gum tissue.
Right. And so I did like a little a newsletter and did a bunch of other different little things I did a Facebook and I talked about your guys, a bunch of the different products, but I talked about your guys specifically, the fact that the coenzyme Q and the folic acid orally put on topically or used orally actually penetrates into the gums and actually helps to rejuvenate tissue.
It does. And we've gotten so many testimonials about that. Now, you held up that charcoal toothpaste.
Well, you know what? I got into this lately.
It's black, man. It's black.
That is so fun.
I know. It's scary to use. Like when I first tried it, I said, are we sure, put black stuff in your mouth? But you know what? It does make your mouth black.
Oh, yeah.
But then it rinses off really beautifully. And then your gums feel so good after it.
So years ago, we used to sell a Japanese tooth powder. It was burnt eggplant, which is charcoal, with sea salt and baking soda. And we had our little Japanese section that we had back, and we still have like a culinary section of Japanese foods, but it was in there. People come in there. So I started using that. And of course, if you didn't rinse out your mouth, you're in trouble.
It's
so
black, right?
Yeah. So a while ago, I used this stuff, right? And so my wife and I both brush our teeth in the shower, right? So I'm brushing my teeth and I spit it out and it's black everywhere. The first thing I thought was, man, I better check my teeth and see whether or not there's like black stuff still in my teeth. No dice. It's not perfect.
It's a great one. Now, we don't only have black. We have a whole line of toothpaste.
I just brought that because I like it so much, right?
I'll tell you one thing. Our other toothpaste, like the Perio Mint, they're not pure white. They're beige. There's a reason for that. We made the decision to leave out the whitening agents such as titanium dioxide.
Oh, all the toxic metals.
Right. So we have it slight beige, not black, but because of the color of the herbs that are in there.
Yeah, I feel like with the herbal base that's in there, all the different herbs that are in there, as well as the nutrients and what the cleansing agents, everything is like on the money. I think this is a product that, and by the way, the Perio Bright, the oral care, as they call it, the mouthwash, this stuff works amazing. You feel refreshed and it feels really super effective. I want to talk about one other thing too. Sure. Actually, two other things. I noticed this. This is very interesting. This cleanse is designed to be used like with oral rinsing product.
Yes, a water pick or something.
Water pick, right.
Yeah. And it comes, that's of course glass, like everything that we sell, but in the box is a pump. So you take off the top, put on a pump, and then you actually pump it into your water pick.
Right.
And that way you get it deeply within all your gum tissue.
Super deep cleansing.
Exactly. And if people don't have a water pick, I've gotten this question many times. You can just mix it in water and use it on your toothbrush and swish it around. You can do that.
And that's what I do because I don't have a water pick.
Right.
So that's what I do. I just swish it around and it's glycerin based and it tastes amazing, works perfect. All right. So this is crazy, right? How many people have dry mouth issues? Maybe going through chemotherapy.
Unfortunately.
Something of that nature. My wife's had to have that a couple of times, ended up with dry mouth. This is a great product. It makes you salivate like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I love it.
It's a combination of herbs and also probiotics that help reestablish a healthy microbiome, which is important in your mouth as well as everywhere. So that's a unique product. You know who else always gets dry mouth? And there's so many people who take pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think
As a nurse, every time I'm reviewing side effects of pharmaceuticals, dry mouth is big with many of the common ones.
All right. So I work out this morning. I beat myself up with squats. I always eat whey protein and I take collagen afterwards for the recovery, right? So I love collagen. You guys obviously love collagen. And you know what was weird is you guys, I think, were the first people to come out with marine collagen.
Right. And that really brings together, and it's a real, because it's from fish, right? That's why it's called marine. Yeah. Instead of necessarily being from other collagens, because we have some that are multi-collagens, but the marine collagen is really nice. And it comes in that beautiful form of a powder, you know, sort of in a glass jar.
Yep, right.
So
A
it has
glass
this
jar
powder.
once again.
Yeah, that's a really nice one. I like that one because it easily mixes in, as you know. Also, we have it in a liquid, which you pointed out earlier
Which tastes
as well.
amazing.
Right. And
Because-
that one has hyaluronic acid,
So
vitamin C.
let's talk about that. So you got vitamin C, so you got collagen, we add some hyaluronic acid, we add some vitamin C, we add some biotin. So tell me a little bit about that formula. What's the goal on this formula?
So the goal is absolutely to help with elasticity. So joint elasticity, because what is collagen? You certainly know as a fitness expert.
Yeah,
Collagen is the stuff in between. It's not the hard bone.
right.
It's people know it if they ate a piece of chicken. It's the softer
It's the
stuff.
connective tissue, right?
Connective tissue, exactly. So we want that to stay really elastic to keep down inflammation and pain. But very often people don't have enough nutrients to help collagen stay healthy.
Right.
And this absolutely helps, like hyaluronic acid. If anyone ever had joint pain, friends of yours, or even if you're listening, and you got one of those injections in your joints, very often they inject in hyaluronic acid because that's like the cushion between the joints that keep it flexible. And we find that it really is also uptaken orally. So that's why it's included in
And also plumpness on the skin kind of makes the skin a little bit plumper, hydration. Yeah, I mean, amazing, right? So I do want to talk about this though. Not only do you have the type 1 and 3 collagen, which is the marine base, and then in the liquid with the added hyaluronic and the biotin, I'm going to talk about the multi-collagen.
So the multi-collagen brings together a lot of different kinds of collagen, in particular stuff from algae and seawater derived, and also 72 trace minerals. And it's also important for some people to know that it's vegan and gluten-free. So it's marine based with red algae and seawater, you know. Wait a minute. I think that that one is not necessarily vegan because that might
This
have
one has the eggshell membrane in it.
Yeah, that one has eggshell membrane and it also has chicken collagen. So
Yeah,
that one is not vegan. The other ones are. So make sure you read your labels if you're a vegan. But that one combines type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. Each of them has a specialty. Like type 1 is really good for the skin elasticity. Other ones are good for bone. And it brings it all together like you would get in a full diet, bringing that all together.
Yeah, because think about it, back in the day, the fast food of the day was bone broth soup. Everything,
I think
all the
that's,
bones
I
and
think it's
carcass
really
were
good.
eaten. Yeah. So, but nowadays we go, oh, vegan or whatever the case might be. But at the same time, fast food is McDonald's. It's like you're not getting what the nutrients and the stuff that you used to get back in the day. And so taking collagen has become almost like an empirical knowledge. Hey, you want to be healthier, you want to be consuming collagen, right?
Well, right. And there's so many different types, but one thing that all our listeners should know is that Nature's Answer has, we've shown so many, but we have over 500 products.
Yeah, that's
and
insane.
The vast majority of them are vegan.
Right.
And the vast majority of them are kosher.
Right.
So
yeah, that's significant, actually.
Yeah, for those who want.
Well, the other thing is that means you got another step further than most people on assuring that your manufacturing facility is just that much nicer.
That's for sure. We have the rabbis and they are rough, but,
and they should be.
Yeah, and they should be. But you know what? It creates where, let's say this collagen product, which has this wonderful array of collagens, it has to be actually made in its own little area and then stored in its own little area outside of the kosher and the vegan registration area.
Yeah.
So that's how complex it gets.
It's a lot of effort. You know what? You're talking about 500 different types of products. And I know I'm like limited on time, so I'm going to just kind of push through some other things really fast. So one of the things that we actually sell very well is a vegetarian-based protein that you guys carry. Okay, it's soy free, it's gluten-free, obviously non-GMO, all the little buzzwords that we want to hear, and it's called Plant Head. Okay, and so clean, vegan, plant head protein. And so when we look at the ingredients on the panel, it's pea protein, rice protein, cracked chlorella protein, hemp protein, and cranberry protein.
Right.
Crazy.
Which is really nice. I mean, a lot of them are not soy free, but also high in protein. So I don't know, some of them have 25 or 30% protein, and none of the things that you don't want And
Right.
those taste really well, they mix really well, and they give you a lot of power for those people who want that extra power.
And they digest well, which is kind of interesting because of the digestive blend that's added to it. So
Right.
taste good, digest well. What's nice, of course, is you've blended the different types of proteins from different vegetable sources that ultimately give you a complete protein. And then you guys also have a meal. So it's got some extra carbs and some vitamins and minerals added to it. So if you're looking for a meal replacement or something for dieting, this would be perfect situation for that.
And a variety of flavors, of course, depending on what someone wants.
Well, and I like the banana one. The banana's like crazy.
Oh, yeah? I never
Yeah.
tried the banana one.
Yeah,
Thanks for
it's
that tip. I'm going to
yeah,
order it to try it
it's
myself.
fun. All right, so I got like a few more minutes. I want to talk about essential oils.
I love essential oils.
I know, so do I. By the way, I was like one of the last guys on the bandwagon when it came to essential oils. So you'll love this. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to use this stuff. This is like the chick stuff. I'm not using like the female world, right? And so anyway, someone along the line, one of the companies, the reps came by and started talking to me about the biochemistry and the chemistry behind essential oils. And I was like, wait a minute, there's chemistry behind this? Oh yeah, we talk about different types of terpenes. And then we go, whoa, hold on, I need to delve into this. So I ended up getting a master's and all sorts of different degrees in it. And so I like really got charged up. So then you guys come out with your line after I've been doing all this studying. And I thought, man, this stuff is a very unique product. So it's very different than the average essential oils. So what I mean by that is, first of all, let's talk about the quality issue. Okay.
So let's talk about those little insignias on the bottom. We're talking about USDA certified organic and also GMO project verified. So non-GMO and organic. That in and of itself is quite unique. Plus, they're imported oils from France, and France really is the place that developed that whole essential oil and aromatherapy science. And they're super good quality, and the scents are so long lasting if you're using it for a scent. We don't necessarily recommend them to be used for internal use. Some people choose to use it, but you got to really know what you're doing, because if you use an oil, it's not the same as an herbal extract, because they're not made through soaking. They're made through distillation, which gets out a different variety of active constituents.
So, and that can be kind of toxic if you're not careful.
It can be. And I'm sorry that people, just go, oh, well, I always take echinacea, and then they take it as an essential oil. It's a whole different thing.
It's a whole different animal, isn't it? All right, sorry you're not here to smell it. Okay, but I'm gonna pick out a couple of drops. This is one of my favorite ones. It's called Unwind and Distress.
What a great name, right?
Right. And by the way, you help with the development of this line, right?
Yes, in the beginning when we were bringing in different oils and testing them, we have our own very unique in-house laboratory, and our facility itself is not only kosher certified, organic certified, we're also NSF certified. So when people say they're just a good manufacturing certified, like GMP, that's good, but that's the beginning. That's not the high bar that Nature's Answer has been at for so many years, 50 years.
Actually, kind of helped create some of those bars.
Well, it's a lot of work, right? Like working with the industry, getting all those registrations.
Absolutely. So let's look at this kind of unique. Okay, so this one has an orange peel in it, has bergamot in it, also has tangerine oil, very rarely used. Of course, it has some lavender in with it. Then it also ends up having let's see, what do we have? We have some verbena, as well as I think there's some chamomile here. So this is like a really cool blend.
It is. It's interesting. Amazing. It's an interesting and unique combination. I haven't found one like that. Yeah.
No, very unique blends across the board. I challenge any one of our listeners to try the Nature's Answer essential oil line. Obviously, you guys have the typical singles, like basil.
Well, one single I use a lot is tea tree oil.
No, tea tree is amazing.
Yeah, tea tree oil is great in general.
What's your use for?
Okay, first of all, it's an anti-infective agent. So if you have a sore throat or anything, you can gargle with it. But I actually sprinkle it on the countertops because ants hate tea tree oil.
Oh, wow.
And I'm in Florida. So, and I don't like to use toxic chemicals. So I just actually sprinkle it, and the ants go, not so much, they go away.
Not so much.
But it's a strong anti-microbial agent.
And then obviously for skin ailments as well too.
Excellent to put it on any kind of cuts and abrasions, and also using it in water. And it's in the toothpaste too, right? In the perio line that you just discussed.
All the perio line is got it. Yeah. All right. Well, Ellen, thank you so much. I appreciate you being with us. I appreciate the episode. It's great to hear all the cool stories and the background information about Nature's Answer, making us that much more confident in the line, and all the work that has just gone into it. Frank did a great job starting the company, bringing it to fruition, and making it what it is. Can you share with us a little bit what's happened with the founder? Is that something that we can talk a little bit about?
Well, unfortunately, Frank D'Amelio Sr. passed away very recently during what we all went through with the COVID situation. And he had just turned 82 years old, but he was not an elderly gentleman. He was a thriving, healthy, running around, working out, playing golf, joking with everybody, not elderly, still working. I sat with him once a week, forever working on Nature's Answer products. So it was a big shock, actually, and an unhappy one at that for the company. But he has children who have been working in the business. They're not kids. I mean, he was 82, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the company is
succeeding
moving forward. Yeah.
Right. So it's great to hear that there is a succession plan in place, and he went in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Happy,
1, 2, 3 out, right? You're well, never old.
That's the way to go out. If you're going out, let's go out that way.
I agree.
Ellen, thanks again for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Be well.
Thank you guys for joining us today on our Mission Nutrition podcast, the official Clark's Nutrition and Natural Foods Market podcast. We've got another exciting episode for you next week, so be sure to review, subscribe, follow us, and stay connected.
Absolutely. Be part of it. We've got so much we're going to share with you. It's going to be an amazing ride.
We'll see you next time.